Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, my fellow Americans. Tonight marks the 8th year that I've come here to report on the State of the Union. And for this final one, I'm going to try to make it a little shorter. I know some of you are anxious to get back to Iowa.
Mr. Microphone, Mr. Mission Control, Mr. Stop Cancer's clone. Let's make it real warm and fuzzy for those watching by TV at home alone. Members of the House and Senate, my fellow melting pot memories who said America will be great and meant it. Tonight's the State of the Union address, and if you're up for it, then I'm down for it and all up in it to win it. Here we go. Let's get him and green light go. Get on with the show and go with the flow to get it done and say what Nike's Bo may not know. Here we go. Let's get him and green light go. Sprout and spring on them like dropping science is what we had to sow. Even though against the grain is how we may have to grow. Here we go. Let's get him and green light go. Style for a while to meet America at its point of need, from this podium and platform down to any profile that's low. As champions deliver the good, bad, and ugly like the post office during rain, sleet, and snow. Here we go. Let's get him and green light go. Never really had a cause to press pause because we were always ready to play. From this State of the Union address to the White House's address and all the way back to that first inaugural day. That's right. Fact, not fiction. With the game face on. With the jump shot on. With the Oval Office open and on until we read and wrote what was proposed and did and said what a leader was supposed. That's right. Fact, not fiction. To always stand and say. To sing and see the shady and shadows of evil across the sea, or the black and white and the in-between gray. That's right. Fact, not fiction. So, hold on, it's going to be furious and fast as we spend a little time speeding up to the present from the past. It's been 8 years, y'all, and the State of the Union is still standing strong without a fall. And for those still on the watch, like a Hawkeye, to see the invisible, to touch the intangible, to accomplish the impossible, to beat the invincible. Plain and simple, for some of you to be voted into the Oval Office, it may take more than a miracle. But that's right. Fact, not fiction.
I've been there. I'll be shaking hands afterwards if you want some tips. Now, I understand that because it's an election season, expectations for what we will achieve this year are low. But, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the constructive approach that you and other leaders took at the end of last year to pass a budget and make tax cuts permanent for working families. So I hope we can work together this year on some bipartisan priorities like criminal justice reform and helping people who are battling prescription drug abuse and heroin abuse. So, who knows? We might surprise the cynics again.
Anyway, what Americans want for Christmas this year is a legacy of progression, as well as the expected in a history-defining primary and general election. So no matter the expectation or what may come our way, all in all, we'll still be A-okay. Like Clint said, you don't want to make that day and have a bad day. Or worse, you don't want to stand in America's way. All in all, we'll still be A-okay. We can check the list and check it twice to see if we've all been naughty or nice. Check 1. Our leaders looked up for the working ma and pa and saw life improve for Junior, Miss, and their little furry creatures that claw. A real deal with a warm and fuzzy feel. Check 2. Our leaders decided to pass more than gas and passed a balanced budget that blew all the way through and remains to be true in the mandatory trimming of those taxes that have grew. Another real deal with a warm and fuzzy feel. So, we've come far and yet have far to go to get along to calm a thunderstorm in criminal justice reform. Scripted and coming soon to play out and remove all doubt. And we've come far and yet have far to go to stop fighting like the Karate Kid against Mr. Lee, Bruce, and share a truce to write a prescription for an intervention that'll forestall drug abuse. Scripted and coming soon to play out without a doubt. Now and in the future, let's grow our wow factor. Now and in the future, let's pull together like a trailer and tractor that's carrying a drugs-debilitating distractor.
But tonight, I want to go easy on the traditional list of proposals for the year ahead. Don't worry, I've got plenty. From helping students learn to write computer code to personalizing medical treatments for patients, and I will keep pushing for progress on the work that I believe still needs to be done. Fixing a broken immigration system. Protecting our kids from gun violence. Equal pay for equal work. Paid leave. Raising the minimum wage. All these things still matter to hardworking families. They're still the right thing to do. And I won't let up until they get done. But for my final address to this chamber, I don't want to just talk about next year. I want to focus on the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and beyond. I want to focus on our future.
Tonight and tomorrow, let's focus on the future as if it should be a forever endeavor to develop the scholar who used to hoop and holler when discipline and self-respect grabbed them by the collar or compelled them to learn computer code for an extra $1. Tonight and tomorrow, let's focus on the future as if it should be a forever endeavor to personalized paths that are more appealing for a greater healing based upon a doctor's diagnosis that's more revealing. Tonight and tomorrow, let's focus on the future as if it should be a forever endeavor to cultivate our nation's bridges and borders for them with hopes, dreams, and quality of life disorders. Tonight and tomorrow, let's focus on the future as if it should be a forever endeavor to unload the gun and safety the trigger so that bright minds can grow bolder and bigger. Tonight and tomorrow, let's focus on the future as if it should be a forever endeavor to extend equality among the work and wage that's captivating enough to unlock every corporate cage which seeks to trap the sick and the sage. Let's confess that Americans deserve no less than our push and press beyond any mediocre mess until genders can proudly say that they finally share equal pay. Let's confess that Americans deserve our tug and pull until life's future is fair and full for the next 10 years, next 20 years, and for generations to shed their fears and tears.
We live in a time of extraordinary change. Change that's reshaping the way we live, the way we work, our planet, our place in the world. It's change that promises amazing medical breakthroughs, but also economic disruptions that strain working families. It promises education for girls in the most remote villages. It also connects terrorists plotting an ocean away. It's change that can broaden opportunity or widen inequality. And whether we like it or not, the pace of this change will only accelerate.
The focus is now, and the future is here at the point and the place where we're supposed to propose political parades for our American peer. We're on it. We've got it. And we can never ever doubt it. If not us, then who? Who will come forward with the next medical breakthrough? If not now, then when? When will we prepare to ebb and flow any which way that the economy may decide to decline or grow? If not because, then why? Why shall we continue to deny, or hesitate to try, to embrace change that'll influence every American gal and guy? The focus is now and the future is here at the point and the place where we're supposed to propose political parades for our American peer. We're on it. We've got it. And we can never ever doubt it. There's a change that continues to come and cause us to consistently debate, while we're willing to cultivate, in school situations scaled up for someone small and great. There's a change that continues to alert our awareness about a threat to our happiness and the adversary, will advocate for a disparity between good and greater values within humanity. There's a change that will allow us an opportunity to shift and balance any inequality as it'll expedite the emergence of a pending emergency. The focus is now, and the future is here at the point and the place where we're supposed to propose political parades for our American peer. We're on it. We've got it. And we can never ever doubt it.
America's been through big changes before. Wars and depression, the influx of new immigrants, workers fighting for a fair deal, movements to expand civil rights. Each time, there have been those who told us to fear the future, who claimed we could slam the brakes on change, who promised to restore past glory if we just got some group or idea that was threatening America under control. And each time we overcame those fears. We did not, in the words of Lincoln, adhere to the dogmas of the quiet past. Instead, we thought anew and acted anew. We made change work for us, always extending America's promise outward to the next frontier, to more people. And because we did, because we saw opportunity where others saw peril, we emerged stronger and better than before.
We're no stranger to imminent danger, as we've experienced all types of change. Some were a little familiar and some were scary and strange. Yet, we continue to do our best and place an all-or-nothing winning bet for America to dodge depressions, despite recessions, and duck a devastating defeat that we've never met. Yet, we continue to hug the wall climber, tourist, and immigrant with a fading reality, microwavable oatmeal, instant, and in search of available resources that were inaccessible like a pot of gold or a Midas touch that's distant. Their only desire was to hold the American dream that they bought because we sold. Yet, we continue to ask for an equal employment policy review so that we could share the purpose, plan, and preview of an ongoing civil rights movement that motivates us with a clue that'll show us the way through. Yet, we continue to remain calm and carry on because America will still be bold, beautiful, and the best when it's all said and done. The pinnacle of precision enlightened by the words of Lincoln and Lady Liberty's torch that's touched by the sun. Let it be known that we refuse to criticize or condemn every image and likeness of them who may challenge Americans within and outside America's border that we discover. Just in case, we'll walk gently and wave a big stick, but why go full throttle when we have friends of friends who'll help us flick a terrorizing tick? Just a thought. Just in case, we'll prepare for the worst case and hope for the best case, but why act like the old to obtain the new when we still seek any scenario that'll consider our constitutional base? Just a thought. Nevertheless, if anyone will still question our resolve and any methodologies that we're unafraid to mention, or our nation's strength dimension, then stop just talking about it and be like America and just be about it.
What was true then can be true now. Our unique strengths as a nation, our optimism and work ethic, our spirit of discovery, our diversity, our commitment to rule of law. These things give us everything we need to ensure prosperity and security for generations to come. In fact, it's in that spirit that we have made progress these past 7 years. That's how we recovered from the worst economic crisis in generations.
We're bigger, stronger, and better, with a broader base for the weaker. The world's most, many, and few still wandering and wanting something true, like the American spirit within you. So, the focus is still now, and the future is still here, at the point and the place where we're supposed to propose political parades for our American peer. We're still on it. We've still got it. And we still can never ever doubt it. Our positive disposition prevents attrition, and helps us with our recruitment and the retention of them responsible for America's evolving innovation. Of course, the faithful American spirit is still a driving force behind multiple commas in accounts or fancy things like BMWs, Bentleys, and the Rolling Royce. Our secret formula is compiled of ingredients like cooperative spirits that are still distinct in the way that they work and think. Our existence has relied heavily upon our prevailing persistence to achieve a 7-year progress that has failed to decline or digress. As we reconsidered the turbulent economy that was reluctant to accept a recovery.
That's how we reformed our healthcare system and reinvented our energy sector. That's how we delivered more care and benefits to our troops coming home and our veterans. That's how we That's how we secured the freedom in every state to marry the person we love.
As we reconsidered the health system that struggled to prescribe a pill for the patient who has been advised to wait patiently for care or buy a casket and prepare a will. As we reconsidered the redefined energy sector with the power to be an empowering plug for the suburban street, side lamp or shack, and schoolhouse where students seek knowledge to supplement the experiential wisdom that they lack. As we reconsidered the wounded in war, weary, whose health has seen a lot better days than some that were dreary. As we reconsidered the lost in love who, like liberty, long to be longed for, and walk with the significant one through their chosen door.
But such progress is not inevitable. It's the result of choices we make together. And we face such choices right now. Will we respond to the changes of our time with fear, turning inward as a nation, turning against each other as a people? Or will we face the future with confidence in who we are, in what we stand for, and the incredible things that we can do together?
One head up. One hand up. One salute back for every blue-collar and white-collared suit. One hand up. On the word with one hand down. Shaking hands and holding hearts when walking around town. To hear them say and ask, Mr. Prez, Mr. President, Brother Barack, how do we cultivate choices as a country to stay sturdy and steady as a rock? How do we stay together like an eagle's feathers during good and bad weather? How do we do our best when our best doesn't have peace to rest? How do we beckon our courage to come forth and stand tall when confidence is not taking our call?
Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President, our First Lady and Second Gentleman, good to see you guys up there. Members of Congress, by the way, Chief Justice, I may need a court order. She gets to go to the game tomorrow, next week. I have to stay home. Got to work something out here. Members of the Cabinet, leaders of our military, Chief Justice, Associate Justice, and retired Justice of the Supreme Court, and to you, my fellow Americans. You know, I start tonight by congratulating the 118th Congress and the new Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Speaker, I don't want to ruin your reputation, but I look forward to working with you. And I want to congratulate the new leader of the House Democrats, the first African-American minority leader in history, Hakeem Jeffries. He won in spite of the fact I campaigned for him. Congratulations to the longest-serving leader in the history of the United States Senate, Mitch McConnell. Where are you, Mitch? And congratulations to Chuck Schumer, another term as Senate Minority Leader. I think you. This time you have a slightly bigger majority, Mr. Leader. You're the majority leader. About that much bigger? Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I want to give special recognition to someone who I think is going to be considered the greatest speaker in the history of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi.
Mr. Voice, Mrs. Second Choice, and the best halves of our marital force, the great American group, delegates of our melting pot soup, top dogs of every troop, Mr. Primary Judge, secondary judges, and other supreme judges who've left careers without grudges, and to the carriers of the voice via vote, with a lot of heart and whole lot of hope. Congrats McCarthy for the megaphone to unify this 118th American home. I'm eager to hear your cares and concerns for our American peer. Hats off to Hakeem, the first black and foremost minority leader of the Dems' dream. Mitch McConnell, good on you. Age is just a number, but you have the clue. Way to go Schumer for swinging in the Senate again. Lead batter up to hit a home run for the win. Nancy, your legacy has been fancy. Speaker on top in history, dedicated to serving this country.
Folks, the story of America is a story of progress and resilience, of always moving forward, of never ever giving up. It's a story unique among all nations. We're the only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it. Look, folks, that's what we're doing again. 2 years ago, the economy was reeling. I stand here tonight after we've created, with the help of many people in this room, 12 million new jobs. More jobs created in 2 years than any president's created in 4 years, because of you all, because of the American people. 2 years ago, COVID had shut down, our businesses were closed, our schools were robbed of so much. And today, COVID no longer controls our lives. And 2 years ago, democracy faced its greatest threat to the Civil War. And today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken. As we gather here tonight, we're writing the next chapter in the great American story, a story of progress and resilience. When world leaders ask me to define America, and they do, believe it or not, I can define it in one word, and I mean this: possibilities. We don't think anything is beyond our capacity. Everything is a possibility. You know, we're often told that Democrats and Republicans can't work together. But over the past 2 years, we've proved the cynics and naysayers wrong. Yes, we disagreed plenty. And yes, there were times when Democrats went alone. But time and again, Democrats and Republicans came together to defend a stronger and safer Europe. We came together to pass once in a generation infrastructure law, building bridges connecting our nation and our people. We came together to pass the most significant law ever, helping victims exposed to toxic burn pits. And in fact, is important.
Americans are built tough to make it through seasons of struggle, reigns of pain, and bad reports that are rough. We have a worldwide specific story with a whole lot of glory. We always thrive after any deep dive that beckons us to survive. Again and again, we're washing away this past season's stain with our Rainmaker's reign. It's been a couple awesome appointments amidst moments of disappointment since our economy was extra and paid more than the rent. From 2 years ago to now, we have 12 million reasons to work this season. That nasty COVID strain gave Americans a whole lot of pain. Now, COVID's dismissed, out of order, and a little less dangerous within our border. A couple moments passed, our democracy was going round for round, and still hanging around in the last. Though we've taken a few hits, we're still standing and out of the pits. On to the next chapter. We're turning the page of possibilities, with rekindled memories about overcoming hostilities, for greater American stories. They say that Dems and Reps cannot be all they should be to agree to disagree. Watch out, because we're rising to the occasion, to work it all out without hesitation. You're right, we were too unfocused to relinquish our back-and-forth fight. Now, there's a steady flow of cooperation on behalf of this United States of America Corporation. Beyond the shining sea, we did what it took to answer a European plea. Now, we're building bridges and closing divides so that generational advancements don't subside. Now, we protect vets who rolled out our military agenda like a sturdy tire while on the front lines under toxic fire.
And in fact, I signed over 300 bipartisan pieces of legislation since becoming president. From reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act, the Electoral Count Reform Act, the Respect for Marriage Act that protects the right to marry the person you love, and to my Republican friends, if we could work together the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well. I think folks, you all are as informed as I am, but I think the people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting, power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere. That's always been my vision of our country, and I know it's many of yours. To restore the soul of this nation, to rebuild the backbone of America, America's middle class, and to unite the country. We've been sent here to finish the job, in my view. For decades, the middle class has been hollowed out in more than, and not no one administration, but for a long time. Too many good-paying manufacturing jobs moved overseas. Factories closed down. Once thriving cities and towns that many of you represent became shadows of what they used to be. Along the way, something else we lost. Pride, our sense of self-worth. I ran for president to fundamentally change things, to make sure our economy works for everyone, so we can all feel that pride in what we do. To build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Because when the middle class does well, the poor have a ladder up, and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well.
We had to act to enact special considerations for civil rights of women, voters, and couples to stay intact. In Congress, let's have more of that hope and harmony song that says if advancing America is right, then how can working together be wrong? Who's the biggest or best doesn't help Americans rest. Our fights to always be right only elevates American fright. They say teamwork makes the dream work. That's what I see in unity. 'Tis of thee, in America, a beautiful country. To strengthen America that was wore down. To foster a smile from a frown. To embolden the foundation of our American entity. To motivate the middle class in its entirety. To bring all together like birds of a feather. No clowning, no joking, and no fun. We're here to do it right until it gets done. From decade to decade, the middle class has managed to remain stuck in the red. Manufacturing has maneuvered overseas, while hometown factories dissipated with down-and-out decrees. Intra- and interstate locals lost their image and esteem, bent out of shape by a broken American dream. Where's the glory in our story? that which brought about a booming confidence, the self-worth that swelled and swayed to help us go the distance. As president, I want to overhaul and rev the economy's engines, so Central Park has fewer people sleeping with the pigeons. I want all those with goals to fulfill their dreams on the repeat and receive a hand-up handshake during meet and greets. Subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes from this video series.